Hello and welcome to Module 4. Now, the first module, which was IT strategy, contained Chapter 1 and 2, strategy and information. The second module was purely on architecture, which was Chapter 3. The third module was payoffs, which was purely Chapter 4. And now the fourth module is a series of lectures on IT governance. We'll start from Chapter 5 to Chapter 9, and we'll go through this. Now, IT governance is the secret sauce for frugal and strategic IT implementation. This is the miracle which most firms want, and we're going to talk a lot more about it. So before we start going through this, let's talk about some of the jargon we're going to use. We will use the word IT governance, which is essentially who makes what IT decisions and where is the accountability and power. So we have accountability that accompanies authority, and we will keep IT governance independent for infrastructure, application, and data. The IT governance structure could be decentralized if the line managers make IT decisions, and centralized if the IT unit does. We have some trade-offs. Centralized IT governance structure is more economical and has better integration. However, decentralization fosters business agility and innovation, but it can also increase complexity. IT governance can be broken up into three areas: infrastructure, applications, and data. And each one is who decides your firm's IT infrastructure or IT applications or IT data assets, what they must accomplish. So let's look at the fundamental premise here. Firms demand that information technology be economical but strategically impactful. They don't want to spend more money on IT, but they want it to be a catalyst for strategy. Now, some experts feel that this is contradictory, but it's not true. And there are companies that do exactly that. And the secret behind is effective IT governance. It's the number one determinant of business value, and it helps tailor information technology to business priorities without forsaking economy. So we are now looking at a mechanism for non-IT line managers to influence corporate decisions. And the key idea here is IT and line are responsible for different types of IT decisions. This is not about taking power away from the IT department and giving it to the line managers, but really looking at sharing the structure so that each of them can contribute where they would be valuable. So here are the trade-offs between centralization and decentralization. When you have decentralization, it's tailored to your business needs. There is agility, and business users set IT directions, but it results in piecemeal IT decisions and actually could create a lot of complexity in the architecture. If you remember in Chapter 3, when we talked about architecture, we talked about how we need to keep it simple. And decentralization does create complexity. Centralization, on the other hand, makes it economical. There's firm-wide integration. However, it's a cookie-cutter solution where one size fits all, and it basically prevents flexibility and it makes things difficult. So you end up needing both. Decentralization covers for some of the disadvantages of centralization, and centralization essentially handles some of the issues that decentralization creates. So you got to kind of do a cost-benefit analysis here of different types of IT investments. So governance is who makes what IT decisions. And it is not whether IT assets are decentralized. Now that is IT architecture, which we've already discussed. This is about direction setting and oversight, which will decide who has decision rights, which is authority and accountability to IT decisions. And remember that authority and accountability go hand in hand. It is about power and responsibility. And so a company must purposefully choose how it can handle its governance. You can centralize a decision right by assigning it exclusively to an IT unit, or you can perfectly decentralize it by assigning it exclusively to line units. You can get federated governance structure when both of them equally share the structure. But in reality, perfect centralization and perfect decentralization are rare. Firms locate IT decision rights somewhere between the extremes, and it depends on which kind of assets are centralized, which kinds are decentralized, and usually it's a conversation between the two. Every major IT decision looks at two types of decisions, and it's decisions about what IT should accomplish and how it should accomplish. Now the what decisions, which is the focus of this chapter, are direction setting decisions for IT activities. This is where non-IT managers should contribute and focus on IT strategy. The how decisions are operational, about IT implementation, and that kind of focuses on how IT units must accomplish their objectives once the direction is set. For example, should it build or buy the system? What programming languages should it use? Should it outsource the resource? The implementation decision rights for all class of IT assets are best left to IT specialists in your IT unit. So centralization there. Since they are technical decisions, non-IT managers can contribute little to them beyond holding the IT unit accountable for delivering outcomes pre-specified by the what decisions. So in this whole conversation between centralization and decentralization, let's just take the federated option off the table, because that's something most businesses struggle with. This means you can locate any IT decision in the decentralization band, which is left of midpoint, or in the centralization band, which is right of the midpoint. So let's take a look here. We have decentralization, we have centralization. Now the first choice you make for any IT governance decision is choosing the appropriate band, right? Where within the chosen band do you locate your IT decisions requires understanding of the notion of input rights. Any decisions about what IT should accomplish always needs inputs from the other side, no matter how you choose to govern them. Consider decentralization band, which means the line functions rather than IT units will be assigned the IT decisions. Now, IT unit does not simply disappear. Any IT decision requires a fusion of business and IT expertise. When you choose the decentralization band, the IT unit contributes its input into the decision, even though the line functions primarily have authority and accountability for it. The input of this other group increases as you slide the decision from A to B, right? And the IT unit has more input when you move to B rather than at A.